Hey everyone, how's it going? I haven't filmed a video in a while. Thought I would show off my new toy. So I decided to spoil myself and get a new table saw. And it is a fancy one. It's actually been in the workshop for about a week now, but I have done nothing with it because it's too heavy to move. So what I did was I spent a bit of time welding together a trolley for it. So this is just all made out of this same angle iron that's been cut into bits and stuck together, as you might imagine. And one of the most amazing, awesome features of it is that it has these legs which can just screw down and completely disengage the wheels. The advantage of that obviously being that it won't move around on me while I'm trying to use it. To go underneath those legs, I've just got these little scrap pieces of metal that I've painted, and that's where the foot presses on. And yeah. One thing you might be wondering is where and how and why have I done that? This threaded rod was actually supposed to be long enough to weld a nut on the top and essentially make a long bolt, but I stuffed up. By the time I'd cut the threaded rod into 4 pieces, it was too short to reach over the top here. When I measured it, obviously, I thought I would be welding this nut here. But then I really thought that's not good enough. It needs to be out here. This is what it's going to stand on most of the time. It needs maximum stability. Got to be out as wide as possible from the center of gravity. So I added a bit more stability. I've actually offset the nut under here a little bit so that there's very minimal space here, because the threaded rod tends to be quite loose in the nut. You don't want the whole machine to be able to rock based on that play, so it's stuck out very small amount at the bottom. Anyway, the reason that this is a hex head is because it was too short to clear here, as I said. And this is just what I came up with. I drilled a hole down the center of the shaft on the lathe and threaded this in, and then I was going to epoxy it or something to be neater, but in the end I just welded it and painted over the weld. Yeah, probably would have looked a lot nicer if I'd epoxied it in there, but yeah, lesson learned. I thought I could get away with this, but as you can see, when I've used the paintbrush to try and paint here, it's really got in the threads and made it look a bit naff. So if I ever have to do that again, it'll be the epoxy. This doesn't actually have to withstand a lot of torque because there's such a mechanical advantage that despite the enormous weight of the machine, which is only about 150 kilos maybe, this is lifting only a quarter of it, and the mechanical advantage is such that you can just about do it by hand. You do need an Allen key, but you can use the top of the Allen key rather than the full leverage of it. It's quite good. I thought I'd just quickly demonstrate lifting it on one of these legs. So I've put the little foot under there, and I'll just turn this by hand till I've got it in that little hole. It's not the sleekest arrangement. If you've seen my previous videos, I made special feet for my other tools, but I didn't see the benefit here. I'm just turning this with my fingers at the moment, and we're already, a lot of the pressure is off that wheel. Now I'll just take the Allen key like so, and there we go. A matter of 360 degrees and the wheel is completely loose. And that is sturdy as. Really, really nice. And then just another angle as I disengage it. There we go. I did consider just buying one of these. As you can see, they're made out of folded metal normally, and they got these little hollow tube parts, and they're all adjustable to suit different machine sizes. But for me, that would have cost, gee, where's the price written here? About 160 bucks. So I've built this thing for about half that price. It could have been cheaper, I reckon, if I'd got the wheels a bit cheaper. I paid too much for them, I reckon. And maybe if I was a bit more sparing with threaded rods, I could have used bolts instead. It was scrap metal from a scrap yard. Yeah, it was about half the price, and it'd be twice as strong for sure. Anyway, I thought you might enjoy a little bit of an update since it's been so long. Hopefully you did. If you leave us a thumbs up and subscribe, and I shall see you in the next one.